All right. So I've got it all figured out. So I'm hoping everybody will jump on this page, and I'm going to put a little caveat in my Elusive Butterfly one. I have to have 100 followers on Elusive Butterfly Connections before it'll actually let me go live. I thought I could kind of just jump into the midstream and do it on there. So my apologies. Don't understand Facebook rules. So, oh, now she sent me Facebook. I got to go back and forth, and I don't know if I can. She should just pop on. I'm just going to scroll down. Hang on. Oh, maybe I can do it this way. There. Please. There. I'm doing my best to keep up. Okay, now I got to poke. Oh, there you are. Okay, I hope you're on. There, because I see your face. And I'm just trying to scroll. There. It won't let me poke. Why? Oh, I'm getting better, Donna. Okay. There you are. No. Okay, thanks, Courtney, for your patience. I'll explain it all in 2 seconds here. There. Okay, I'm more settled. See, it's just the way the day's going. It's Mercury retrograde with lots of moons and things everywhere. Read the whole astrological stuff today, and it's just, I feel like I'm just a mess. That's kind of how my day went. But yes, I cannot jump into my Elusive Butterfly stream, Courtney. It demands that I have to have 100 followers, so get on that. then I can stream on my Elusive Butterfly account. So my apologies for the back and forth. Yeah, laugh. Yeah, and then I tried to do my glitchy light, my ring light that I found at the thrift store, and it works. So yay! And it even takes pictures. But I'm gonna have to get my son to figure out. I was laughing at myself because I did a test drive before I jumped on, and all you can see are these little green ring lights in my eyes. I looked like a glow-in-the-dark raccoon. I'm like, oh, I can't imagine what the other people are going to think when you guys jump on and see me. I'll look like a large alien, and you'll just run like the wind. So it's parked on the side just over here on my third take going into the live stream today. Thusly why we've got our cheat sheet today. And I was kind of doing a little bit of oh my God is right, laugh out loud. A bit of a mess today, but a good mess, I guess. I had to sort through it all. And thank you, Donna, for your patience. I'm so sorry you had to go back and forth, but you found me. Yay! So it's just living in my moment. It's just, I'll have to get my techie son up here to kind of set it up better for me and have a better area, whether it's a laptop or my iPad on the side as well, so I can kind of scroll through comments and poke away. It's harder on my phone. It's just teeny tiny little things. So, but yeah, I was talking, if you caught the first part of my live #1 trial and then my #2 trial, my theme kind of was going on today. Yeah, and I had to yeah, you guys are patient. God love you. Some of this I had to, it was kind of like, today was really, I got up, I had my morning coffee, I was up a little earlier, and then, sat down, did my meditation, and I felt like so routine. I'm like, I'm not typically like that. And I thought, you know what, to hell with it. I kind of went out, did my own thing. I just felt like lumps of frustration. Like, where's my flow? Where's my my natural peace to me, my true self coming through, than being so regimented. And that's kind of where the theme was. And it wasn't just me, it was my daughter as well. She woke up with great intentions, got ready, kind of exhausted, tired. She's been trying to school and get things off her docket. And And then as the day kind of slowly progressed, I could feel all this frustration like sinking into me. And I kind of went, what the heck is this all about? And I could just tell, like, energetically, I wanted to commit. I wanted to go and do some more of my meditation workshop. And I just, push, push, push. And finally I had to sit back with myself, because the more I felt like I was pushing, the more frustration, the more anxiety I was creating within myself. And so when I went on and did a little bit of research, I was reading on the astrological charts and what's coming in setbacks. And that's kind of where we're at. And it links in, I guess, too, with what we talked about, last week. On this endings of the year of the snake and jumping into this year of the horse, a brand new 2026 year, which is a number 1 year, new beginnings, shedding the skin. And boy, I can really feel it. It's like kicking me right in the arse. And so, and doing a lot of life review work, like just kind of going back and going, well, questioning, did I have setbacks? Did I have, and that kind of went, so being hard on myself and not allowing grace, and so really trying to figure out to do, some of my inner work. What am I willing to let go of? Really, where's the frustration? Do I create more boundaries? Am I taking on too much stuff? How about delegating some of my duties to my kids? Like, what am I, chopped liver? Am I going to do it all? Or do I have, 2 capable kids that have to cope too and put in some time, because I'm not just cook, chef, and bottle wash lady. So it's just not letting others, walk all over me too. So once I kind of got past, sitting, late this afternoon and letting all this go, cheap, haha me. And I had to learn, maybe, I don't need to be like all the other, readers or spirit groups or whatever. I'm just me at the end of the day. And who am I? And that's truly what I had to, trust my own process, not forcing the process, and letting go of, the expectations that maybe I place on myself. And that was a big thing for me to really think about, is from frustration that was out there in the chaos of everything, is not allowing all those exterior frustrations affect our energies. And when we feel that, be so aware, okay, it's okay just to pull away and say, I just need to let this go for a bit. I'm going to trust my guides. I'm going to trust my spirit team on the other side, because that's what they're there for. I bumped into 2 amazing ladies late, mid-afternoon, and that's what our stories were when we just, were talking. Just trusting that the angels have us, our spirit guides, the team. It's just like even sitting in the vehicle and talking to them helps lighten that load. We don't need to carry this all. It's not ours to all carry. It's to allow that process to open up for ourselves and welcome it in, and be calm and be, selective about what you want to do. It's okay to say no, to heck with it. Why do you have to go do something? And if you really don't feel like doing it, and feeling the pressures of saying, you'd have so much fun. Oh, come on. When your deep desire is, I just would really like to just enjoy my day and just be. So it's really quite okay to set healthy boundaries, so you don't get into that frustration that leads to compound interest, and maybe having feeling angry. But anger comes from other emotions. Anger is the outcome of something that you're not dealing with. There is an emotion attached to it. So that's what I kind of wanted to focus on a little bit today, and how many of us are feeling right now with the frustration. So not pushing, not trying, not forcing, and somehow ending up with a more, and then you're more tired or stuck, or just, you get kind of stuck on one idea as well too. And so that's kind of what, sometimes pushing too hard, even with, like for me to put together my meditation workshop, I can only reflect from what my viewpoint is. So I'm hoping, when you guys are on, that maybe some of this might resonate for you and what you're going through, or maybe somebody else, or you sit and you think and it's just, feels right. And you know, with every great intention, I wanted to do another week worth on my meditation workshop. And then I thought, no, I don't want to push today, because otherwise it's going to be a flop, and I'll just get angry and it won't flow. And I'm me trying to find my natural flow, because I'm revamping it. It was one that I had taught a while ago, but it's, you know, times have changed. I have changed. What do I want to put out there? So it's really putting a lot of thought and soul work into, you know, what I want to do, and jumping into life has a natural rhythm, and allowing it to unfold. And it's about control. And when we try to control every step, it can lead to setbacks, to exhaustion, to, you know, self-doubt. Yeah, I'm on my own pity party today. By the time about two, I was in a full-blown pity pot party, and really sat down, and, you know, what, in the pity pot party, then I went to, okay, Spirit, what do I need to look at? And so then I went to, and it was a little book that I had, and it's called the Shadow Workbook. And so, you know, doing the inner work for me will help me reflect, to go back how far I've actually come, and not to be so hard on myself, because I've come from so much, and just the value, and look to where, you know, my growth is, and finding from the, you know, what I might have thought was really negative and really tough to slug through, and where I am now. Thanks, Kelly, you found me. I'm so sorry. I'll explain later. A bit of a glitch. Times 3. Welcome to the new energies coming through. And just to reflect, going back just very quickly, we're talking about frustration today, and setbacks, and why they are what they are right now, and trying to find our natural rhythm, because it's really, right now, January the 15th, like I said, I had to go look it up. Why am I feeling the way I am? Well, it's universal. Everybody's kind of at that mid-cycle to kind of the tail end of the snake energy, going, yeah, I feel, like I said, like I felt like I was crawling out of my skin. Well, what does a snake do? It crawls out of his skin. I'm like, oh, okay. You can't hit me any harder with a hammer on the other side. I get it. And so for me, this isn't about, or anybody else, this is, you may notice in parts of your awareness, things may feel like they're delayed, and not to beat yourself up over the fact that it might be delayed, because there's a reason and purpose why it's delayed. If, again, I go back to frustration builds, know that it's not setbacks, and it's not delays. It's trusting the process of getting there and letting that control go. That's the biggest piece. You know what? We're not in control of our lives. It just is. The other side has got our back. They have a divine plan for us. All we have to do is decide to let them, you know, guide us in the right direction. We also have to ask. They won't intervene unless we ask for that divine intervention to go forward in where we need to go. And let them in. They're quite happy to help. But if you're going to control it all, they're just going to throw their hands back. Okay, well, wait. She's in the driver's seat and she knows what she thinks she's doing. We've got a better plan, but we'll see what happens. And so there's that pothole in the road that, you know, they'll let you learn your lessons and go, okay, well, that was a Lulu. And I know I've done my fair share. I am still a human being, and I have hit the potholes hard and fast, and some of them really hurt. So, and I have to really think about too, like I went back even to my beginning of my lives, and this was an eye-opener for me. Energetic burnout for me. I was really like go, like just barely, you know, that survive, just kind of tipping that iceberg. And as I kind of decided to pull away and do things for myself and not worry about everybody else, things started to kind of feel together. And I can only, you know, kind of relate this. I was kind of gobsmacked going out one day. And of all places, Staples. You know, it's not a place I go to a lot, but I do. And I've been going for the last, I don't know, since 2020, since I've been here 4 or 5 years. no, I guess it's been over 5 years. And one of the cashiers there, she's an older lady, and we always have a chitty chatty at the till. You know me. Bah, 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 bah. And sometimes I just go in and do my thing. And she really noticed the last time, and she said, you know, I'd like to tell you something. She said, you've been coming here for, you know, on and off. And she says, I want to say how much better you look. And you look happier, she said. And, you know, that really, I had to really set myself back. Like, what do you mean? She says, well, just lots of times, she says, you've come in for the last number of years, and she says, you just look less stressed, more happier, you look more free. She says, your face looks better. And so when we're doing the inner work, and I thanked her for it, I was very grateful, kind of caught off guard, because she wasn't somebody that, you know, I go out for coffee with her, but she was just like a third-party person stepping back. And so when I went home, I had to really sit down and think about, you know, yeah, I was on kind of like that train going at 110 kilometers an hour. And when I slow that train down within me and start looking after me and worry less about everybody else and the frustrations and let them go, no more emotional and energetic burnout. I'm having to be responsible for me and feeling better about it too. And others are noticing. And that really, I think, was a wonderful spiritual intervention for me to say, it's okay, Laura, you're doing great. Just keep going. People gave me feedback. What a divine purpose that person had. That was so profound for me in that moment in time. It might have been just little, but it was just really quite profound. So trusting the process is really what we need to go, instead of forcing the outcome. Yeah, absolutely, Kelly. It was a real, you know, a real, it wasn't so much a gentle reminder. It was like right in my face reminder, is to trust the other side, that they're all coming through. And I can be a controller. You know, I've had to learn to really sit back and let others be in their own choices and their seats, because it's not my journey for me to control that. And so trusting the process doesn't mean also I'm giving up, nor should anybody else. And none of you should be giving up either. It's allowing that energy to reveal itself for you, and guiding with, you know, arriving at your destination and arriving at it, you know, naturally, organically, wholesome, and being in part of the process. And when you get there, then that somebody from the, you know, catches you and says, wow, look at you, look so great, or you look so relaxed. And then that gives you a reference point that, yeah, you're really, I did it, you know, and pat yourself on the back, and trusting your instincts. So your intuition speaks louder than urgency. And when we let that go, we create sacred space. And in that sacred space, then there's clarity and healing and alignment, and that can finally enter into our own sacred being, into the soul. So I want us to kind of, you know, before we jump into some of the cards, and I'll ramble on now that I'm on my third take of live stream, talk about you guys are the patience of Job to wait for me, so thank you. But to do kind of like a mini reflection in this moment, ask yourself quietly, and you can do this now. You may want to have a notebook and a piece of paper, or you can go back and listen to me again. God love you if you do. To ask yourself, where am I pushing instead of listening? And writing, you know, one reflection. So I ask yourself, so again, I'll repeat, where am I pushing instead of listening? So when you identify that, when you identify your push, that allows your soul to go, oh, it's like a little light bulb comes on. I get it. I need to listen more. So ask yourself, what in your life is what's going on that's creating that for you? And so then once you identify that, it's like poof, the little green goblin goes away. And it creates also awareness so that when it does arrive again in front of you, you're able to recognize it a lot faster as well. So then another, mini reflection to kind of really look at is, what would soften if I trusted just a little bit more today? That's a kind of a deep one. And what for you would, when you let that go and give it over to your spirit guide team, because we all have them. They're all there for us, and each of us have our own. And it's being able to identify within ourselves, you can ask your spirit guides, what do I need to soften? And when you close your eyes, maybe it's just one word. Maybe it's a feeling. Everybody clairs in a different fashion. And maybe, everybody's intuitive. It's just on how you utilize your skills. You don't have to go out and do readings. You don't have to be, a psychic or anything. Everybody has those intuitive actions within us to be more aware. And so it's like our gut instinct. So when you close your eyes, ask that gut instinct, what's the first feeling or word, or even like today, it was music for me. Every time, even last night late when I was walking the dog, I could hear tunes in my head, and I had to reflect what the words were really meaning for me, to take them back into me, intimacy, to see, because that's what intimacy is, into me see, to get the message, what they were trying to tell me from the other side. Kind of like Bumblebee and the Transformers. Just saying. And I know I'm a bit goofy tonight. Just bear with me. And if you don't get an answer, that's okay, because your next piece, that's part of letting go. That's no more control. You don't need the answers right away either. It's writing them down, and then have them by your bedstand, have them by your little TV thing, and then all of a sudden, poof, those the answer might come. It might be, oh my God, because you finally had that moment. I know mine's at 3:11 at a.m. Never in the afternoon, because my mind is so busy sometimes that I don't take time to reflect. And that's when the best time the guides come through for me is at anywhere between 3:11 in the morning and 3:15-ish, sometimes a little earlier, depending. That's when the guides really step it up. But having that just a little jot book beside you, write these questions down, and all of a sudden you'll be thinking of it, and then the answer comes through. And that's the right, truthful answer when it comes to you, without, again, going back to page 1, frustration, control, let it go, stop controlling it. That's when we trust that process, because then that's the right choice, the right decision, the right feeling, whatever that identity is. And you only need a willingness to want to do it. And so once you give that away and just let the will take over, thy will be done, the spirits can guide. The spirits can share with you so openly when you're that open. So if you're feeling frustrated or discouraged, know this: you are not behind. Give yourself some grace. You are not broken. You are being guided in a gentler way forward. Let go of that the heaviness, the feeling tonight, and trust what's meant for you knows how to find you. So I'm just going with what they're guiding me here. And if this really resonates, I'm just taking a few minutes as they're processing. You can drop, comments in the live stream for me if you want, or you can reach out and direct message me. I really don't mind. Hey, this happened. But I think we'll jump into some of the cards today. And I was drawn to a few different ones today. Actually, before I jump in, I want to share, because as I was going through all this, I was scrolling through, Facebook posts or whatever, and one popped out, and it was where did I, oh, here it was. And it was really quite profound for me. It was, and it wasn't my Facebook post, so it was through, I follow a lot of, with Abraham Hicks, and it was a post that she did. Do you want to force things to happen? Question mark. Or do you want to allow them to unfold easily? And, you know, that was really profound for me today. Considering everything that, you know, kind of that was going on with the frustration. And then all of a sudden when I'm scrolling through to get kind of my answer, there was some guidance. Yes, Lori, pay attention. This is what's going on in your field right now. And allow it. Just be. And sometimes just sitting with it is more important. So with that, I'm going to start pulling some cards to see what the other side, what the spirit guides want. Not me, because I don't control this. This is all on the spiritual side. And so what's staring in front of me is, as I was going through, I picked out a bunch of cards and about the third deck, but now I'm going to work it as my first deck. And they are actually Abraham Hicks cards. I didn't even know I had any. So I don't even know where they came. Well, they may have been Trisha's, my friends. But so I thought, well, we'll shuffle them up and see what happens with our energies today. And so if any of these cards resonate with you, then feel free to, you know, jot them down. Feel free to comment. Oh, we can't do 20. Sorry. That's an awful long Abraham Hicks. There's one. Okay. I always take the card that pops out. My hair is kind of wild today. I was out in the rain. Oh, here we go. My life story and the law of attraction. So I'm going to read you. There's a, goodness, really, there's a big message too on the back of the card. So I'll show you the front. So that's the card that's coming through right now. And what it says is each and every component that makes up your life experience is drawn to you by the powerful law of attraction's response to the thoughts you think and the story you tell about your life, your money and your financial assets, your body's state of wellness, clarity, flexibility, size and shape, your work environment, how you were treated. And I'm going to pause for just a minute, because when you put those thoughts out there, oh, I don't look so good, or gosh, I feel fat, and or I look fat, or I'm in the lack of money, and if you have all these poverty thoughts, those are those thoughts that you put into either. Even if you're thinking them, you have to kind of look at changing your mindset. I'm happy with what's going on right now, and I welcome healthy habits back within me. So it's changing how your mindset is, and how you treat yourself is how others will treat you. So treating yourself with grace allows others to treat you with grace, and also too with work satisfaction. If you're satisfied with your work and what you're putting out with, and you love what you do, you get that back in kind, and it's rewarding. Indeed. So I'll read on. So the next little piece here is, indeed, the very happiness of your life experience in general is all happening because of the story that you tell. So what kind of story do you want to tell yourself? What is it that you want to do for you? How happy is you? Hello, Alana. Glad to see you. Now, I have to tell you, it was a bit of a hoo-hoo, trying to get on my live stream. I jumped from one to another. I went, I jumped from my live page. I got kicked off twice because the weather right here is very foggy too. But then I thought, well, I'll try and jump on my elusive butterfly page, but I need to go and wrangle up 100 followers before the page will let me do a live on there. So I have to go with my single account under Lori Jean Step and then do my thing. So so that's kind of what that is anyhow at the end of the day. So let's just keep pulling some cards. And I just got to check. My daughter just texted through. Sorry if it's an emergency. I'm sure she'll. Oh, sorry, usually if she's texting through, she's had a bad few days. So I'm kind of just mindfully checking. So deep apologies. She knew I was doing a live, and I think she forgot. 18 years old, jumping on 19, and soon I'm sure she'll be 26. So, live stream. And this is where I'd like to have my iPad right beside me. Wouldn't that be lovely? I will get there. It was bad enough I had the ring light incident earlier and looked like a glow-in-dark raccoon. Oh, these are the Abraham Hicks cards again, still. Oh, 2! Woohoo! Lucky you guys. All right, so this one, and they paired together. So we'll see. Didn't we just talk about this? This one says, I am the creator of my own life experience. Again, the storytelling. So I'll read you the back as well. And yeah, I'm all that and crack me up. You are the creator of your own life experience. And as the creator of your experience, it is important to understand that it is not by virtue of your action, not by virtue of your doing. It is not even by virtue of what you were saying that you are creating. You are creating by virtue of the thought that you were offering. So you cannot speak or offer action without thought vibration occurring at the same time. However, you are often offering a thought vibration without offering words or action. Children or babies learn to mimic the vibration of the adults who surround them long before they learn to mimic their own words. So you're creating powerful beings also by your positive thoughts. And they reflect back in the mirror as you're being, basically, your thought and actions do reflect to others, and they reflect them back to you. That's what this card is about. It goes in conjunction with the next one that fell right out, right beside it. So this one says, what do I want and why do I want it? Sometimes be careful what you ask for, but you better be very, understand why you want it. Is it just because? Is it because you need it? Or is it because it's something that you desire? And so that's an important, question for yourself. When you acknowledge what you do not want, and this is important, listen to the message, and then ask yourself, what is it that I do want? So sometimes rifling through, it's kind of like a cheat sheet list. I don't like this, 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 and this, and this, will give you the indicator of what you want in the polarization on the positive token. And sometimes to go through the shadow book of questions of what you don't, like about yourself or don't like about what's going on with the situation or whatever it may be, gives you the idea of what positive thoughts you want to turn around and do instead and put thoughts out instead. So it's being very aware of your vibration. So I will continue on. There's more to the card. You begin to gradually shift into the telling of your new story and into a much improved point of attraction. So this is how you do your law of attraction, because I believe that's what these cards are. The deck is called the law of attraction. So powerful thoughts bring powerful attractions. You get the essence of what you think about, whether you want it or not, because the law of attraction is unerringly consistent. Therefore, you are never only telling the story of how it is now, you are also telling the future experience that you are creating it right now. So that's a very powerful card to take into accordance, is thoughts are very powerful. So being very mindful and aware of what you're putting out there too, and what is it that you really truly want. So self-reflection. If self-doubt is in there, then that's what you're creating. So change that, that vibration to something different that will reflect how you want to be for yourself. So let's do, I hear one more from this one, and then we'll go. I got lots of decks. I just went through and chose a few that the other side kicked my pants with and said, no, find that one. Oh, 2 again. What's with 2? All right. Again, law of attraction, Abraham Hicks. Okay, so this is an interesting one too. I can always tell a different financial abundance story, because that's what you're creating here. In 2026, this is the #1 year. This is about flourishing. This is about creativity. This is about pushing yourself. I use the word pushing loosely. It's about forging yourself more forward. What creative ideas are you wanting to start and adventuring into? What have you kind of put, and went, I don't know. And this is the year where the number 1 year, the horse is like, you're on fire, baby. This is what, you're destined to do. So start putting your ideas together. Have, again, a little notebook. Write down anything that you feel that pops into your head or your mind. Because, it may seem wonky, but you know what? Out of like a bazillion ideas that float through your brain, all of a sudden it will start taking on its own shape. And it may not be what you thought it was going to be, but you let it develop, which I'm going to say, you go back to the number 1 stuff on my page 1. Frustration, letting go, and control. Trust the process, because that's what this is about, trusting the process. So create like a big web, sheet for yourself that you smack on the wall. Something that you can see, and when you come home and you sit down and you go, oh, I just had an idea. Chuck it on your board, man. Have fun with it. And that's what life is. When the moment you think, I don't, you're just kind of feeling mundane, what do you want to create that's more, doable for yourself, more fun? So the only thing that affects your, this is reading onto the card, sorry, stay with me. Squirrel. The only thing that affects your experience is the way you utilize the non-physical energy with your thought. Your abundance or lack of it in your experience has nothing to do with what anybody else is doing or having. It only has to do with your perspective. It only has to do with your offering of thought. And if you want your fortunes to shift, you have to begin telling a different story. So that you are the sole proprietor of your own story. That's what this is about. Okay. Oh, that was the second card that popped out. Me bad. And this one is the what if card. It's kind of like that what if game. And what if everything was always working out for me? And that's really truly, what if we played the what if game? How far can that go? What if I was a multimillionaire? What if I was an author of three novels? What if I was working my most marvelous job with 10 people that I just loved working with? What if I was in Mexico and enjoyed the sun? Let's play the what if game. That's what this card is about, because what if dares to dream, and it opens up those energies to possibilities. And then the other side knows how to handle that. Oh, they're interested. Let's figure this out. So when you play the what if game, I'm reading from the back again, so stay with me. Look for things that make you feel better. There is never a situation in which there is not a way out, but out of habit, most people continue to choose the lack, and I say lack, perspective until they eventually find themselves where it seems that there are no more choices. But as you hold your intention to look for evidence of well-being and thriving and success and happiness, you will tune yourself into the vibrations of those things. And so those kinds of good feeling experiences will dominate your life. What a beautiful card. And that's kind of like, again, playing the what if game. What if good things happen to you? It's not the left shoe drops. Like, stop that. You guys need to give yourselves some grace. So do I, because sometimes I think, and I had this conversation, actually, the left shoe, I call it, the left shoe dropping conversation with one of my children the other day. I won't say who it is, because I think that, kind of takes away from their privacy. But anyway, one of my children was having a left shoe. Things, haven't always gone on par for them, and taking that into alignment for themselves. Everything right now is going really well for them, and to honor that. And so we were talking and got very overwhelmed with the good things that were happening. So we had to have a gentle discussion over, well, what if I said things, were really good? They're all, life adventures, thinking of life as an adventure and a journey at the end of the day, and all the experiences that you gain. And so I had to go back, look at all the experiences that we had when I went on the road for that short duration of time, and hit the road fast and furious in 2016 when I left my relationship and didn't have a nickel to my name. I needed to put food on the table and a roof over our head, and that's when I went on the Western psychic fairs across, BC, Alberta, and Saskatchewan, and found out, you know what? I had a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. And boy, we all grew, because I brought my kids with me and they were homeschooled, and they all had to learn how to be flexible. They had to, work with adults of various ages, they had to act, one way, at the events, and then could be, act out differently in like the fun parts. And then we would, on our odd weekends, going back, we could enjoy our time and go to Revelstoke or to Barkerville. So we tried to make it fun along the way, or go to Jasper, Banff on our way home. So those were the things that we took the what ifs out of the situation. What if we had no money? Well, what if Mom went on the road and worked? And what if we had a lot of fun along the way? And they still think about all those what ifs, and how wonderful it was, because she would, my one child, okay, I let the cat, she would like to go back to Barkerville and enjoy that time, because that was out of the what if to create abundance. We still had fun and magic in that moment. So that's what this one is. So they're telling me from the other side to roll into a different deck. So let's see what the other, I got lots of decks. So let me just see what, okay, the power deck. Oh, no, not that many. That's like 10. No, I'm not doing 10. One card, Spirit. And, you guys can, chime in anytime and ask, if you've got a question, or whoopee, or that one. What's this? Flow. As I snort. Oh, dear. Okay, this one is called Flow. The flower of your being. Show my face a little bit on the card. There we go. The flower of your being begins to bloom when you move with the flow of life. Aha! This is a process of letting go, oh my word, of moving your consciousness, which is an inch or two below your navel. Feel your receptivity as you become still. Watch the river flow as you were a mountain high above. Be serene, at ease, and totally within your power. Then let the waterfall of life work for you as you become like a twig carried on the surface of the rushing water. Become one with the river, dissolving the sense of mind and living totally in your instinctual nature. Let go and relax into the eternal flow. Oh my goodness. Like that, we talked about that in page 1. Flow and letting go. Spirit's really giving it to us today. What a great message. I just love it. When the cards popped through and it was in parts of the conversation, I know we're in the right, yeah, I know, Courtney. We're just in the right flow. And what's really phenomenal is the other day I walked outside and I went, oh, it was like raining, like unbelievable. And I called out, it's like, you're like raining a river from the sky. I felt, but it was refreshing, even though it was tons and tons of rain. And it was lots. Like there was like, I could have kayaked or paddleboarded out of my backyard into the driveway. It was just coming down like a big sheet, like a river. And when it was done, it had warmed up just a titch, and I walked outside, and from the flow came such a serene for me. I walked outside and it was beautiful, like at 9 o'clock at night, and the stars were bright, and this light mist kind of, I called it the magical mist, came out, and it was beautiful, and it was warm, and you could just feel this light spritz over the body. I actually just stood there in awe of how I felt. I felt clear, clean, natural. I don't know, is that even, part of the deal? But I just felt in flow of everything, out of the big racing river from the sky. I just felt so in line, and just to be in the moment of it. I just felt the misty and the fog and everything. It did it for me. I just felt unbelievably clear in that moment in time. And so that's what this card is. It's just really giving us the opportunity to say, yeah, be in flow, let it go, stop the control, move forward, and just be. And sometimes just being is the hardest part to do. So what an amazing card. So let's do a couple more from that one. And then we're going to hit the light, and then probably I'll have to call it a bit of in another 10 minutes probably, because I have to get up really early tomorrow and be on the road to, to Victoria. And I'm hoping the weather will be nice to drive. So, but I got to leave and be in Victoria by 9:30 in the morning. So that means I need to be in bed just a teensy bit earlier. I am not a morning girl, so this will be a stretch. Oh, there goes one. Two again. We're in twos. Okay. This one was upside down, which is an interesting stretch, but it's called Essence. That's what this is. It's kind of interesting. It's got the, it's got the earth, and then it looks like kind of like space, and if you can see it, it's got like indents in the sand where it kind of scrolls around, almost like somebody's taken a rake and created space. Sacred space is what I would say. And then here's your focal point and universal energy surrounding it. Life is like a school. We move through it learning many things, cloaking ourselves in environmental knowledge. You are on the warrior's path toward enlightenment. You must one day peel away accumulated knowledge like layers of an onion and move back into the source of your power. And well, that's where we're at right now, moving back from the source of the, the snake skins, moving forward into the forward path of the fire and the horse. When contemplating a Zen garden, aha, see, I was right. It was like that little rake that you do. And you find the source of your power is the essence of the Great Spirit. We come onto this earth walk like a giant piece of smashed mirror, every one of us reflecting the light of our God. The experience of life is a process of piecing together these scrambled fragments into one mandala, reflecting the one source of all being. Like the center of a cyclone, we sit at one point of stillness and the pandemonium of life circulating madly around us. Choose equilibrium, not frenzy. Live life from your center. The essence of you and the essence of the primal moving force of the universe are one. And so that's being really reflective of where you're going to, where you're right now going, where you could be just really focused in this time and moment. Whether you're wanting to strive to find that center focal point for yourself to feel just be again. And that's what this whole new year is about, is focusing on you and being loving enough to do that for you. And so finding purpose in your life, finding your meaning, where you want to go, things that you just finding the love and passion back within you again. And that's what this card is about again too. So, oh, the other one fell out. Inconvenient. This is quite a lovely card. Oh, it's the 3 3s. Matches my house number 3033. And I love my house number, the 333s. Today it was 555 again. Looked at my oven, it was 555. I said, oh, I gotta run and light my candle, because it on the candle my daughter got me. It's got 555 on the candle. She just thought that was quite quirky at Winners, and that's what I got for Christmas. It was lovely. Anyway, back to number 33, aspirations. And so it's kind of an interesting mix. You have on here, you have your the deer, and then you've got your powerful stone face figure as well in a field. It's very serene. and just sitting and just being. And so this one's about, and I'll read it to you here, aspiration. It stimulates power. It is your aim spiritually and physically in the world and involves the totality of your being. Without the balance between physical and the spiritual, aspiration is a hollow accomplishment. It is like spirit lodge at the dome of which you are at your ceremonies and rituals. But the spirit lodge must have a strong foundation of capability, trust of those around you, and responsibility. Aspiration is what builds the spirit lodge of power. It is the architect of your accomplishments and sits at the feet of power. As the deer stands before the remnants of an ancient and powerful civilization. So let's go think back to what, Lemuria and Atlantis and each of those civilizations and where they went, and they, in crumbles and buried deep. Keep your heart open, kind, and loving so that the energy of the universe can move freely through you. It is difficult to aspire without judgment, but judgment limits you and puts a fence around your consciousness. Give much consideration to all your choices in life and a free flow. See, there's this flow again. To allow process of aspiration. So again, I go back to the original, page 1. Letting it go allows the flow from this last card, second last card, flow. See how they all kind of come together? Gotta love the other side and the spirit guides when they put it together for me for the live. Just unbelievable. I'm just so in awe when I do a live because it all just fits. And so here's your flow card, and it goes with your aspiration. So when you naturally let it go, it goes into aspirations of where your desires are. What do you aspire to do? And so that's writing like your creativity list. It could be what do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to go? It's dare to dream. The what if card. What if you went on a holiday? What if you bought a brand new car? What if you had a beautiful relationship with your family or your loved one or your partner or your husband or wife or aunt and uncle? What if you had a beautiful relationship with your workplace? Those are your what ifs at the end of the day. So, yes, 3 3s. 3 3, yeah, and 4 4 was my timer today. And that was very profound as well too. Hello, Denise. Just jumping on. We were just talking. We were just doing card pulls. So glad to see you jumped on. There's Joanne too. I missed you just a minute. Hang on. Did I miss anybody else? Oh dear. I'd be a bad girl if I did. Oh, Abby too. Goodness. Almost missed you. Too busy yapping. And so that's kind of what the aspirations are. Well, I'll choose a few more cards because a couple of you jumped on a little bit later so that you don't miss what was going on in parts of this. It's just talking about kind of letting things flow, letting go of control, frustration, because that's compound interest to what it's going, and creating sacred space for self creates that natural flow. That was with the one card with the deer. Deer represents for me too. The deer represents grace and pureness and just being in the moment because they're so quiet, they're so silent, and they look up like, oh, you're looking at me? And it's just, catching life in that moment, in that precious moment. They're just so vulnerable. And that's where we sometimes don't like to sit. We don't like feeling vulnerable but that's where our most sacred space is for ourselves, is being in that vulnerable moment. We're able to intake, because then all those shields, all those things that we put on top of our hearts, our souls to protect ourselves, gets blown to bits. That's what this new civilization card is about. This last one is bringing back, not just the, Atlantis, Lemuria energies. It's blowing all those civilizations apart to rebuild new civilizations to forge more ahead. And so it's recreating grace and that stillness and that being, to be in your center, what they talked about in this aspiration card, the center of power of where you need to go. And that's really what it is finding your true center again, finding your feet, finding your soul's purpose. So that's kind of what it is. So I'm just going to ask for guidance a little bit more in, I guess they're showing me this one. Again, the soul coaching. Oh, I fixed my pendulum the other day. I had to laugh at myself just before I get into the card. I'm like Tinkerbell. I got to fix everything. I can't let it go. And this year, that's a good reminder to ask the guides for help rather than wonder where they are and why they are not helping. Yeah, you're right, Kelly. Absolutely. Good on you. So yeah, so it's in 2 pieces. And when I was in my magic gazebo when it was in like rainy season, that was my getaway spot. Oh, I loved it. It was the gazebo was outside and the trees and me and the birdies. I had it all prettied up. And I went out one day and I found my deck of cards. It was stuck in one of the backdrops of the curtains I had. And then I went to go and grab my pendulum, and the dampness, because it's in 2 pieces, there's a silver piece just kind of in the middle here. I went to go and use it, and it went fling in 2 different pieces, and inside are tiny little amethyst crystals. See? There's like 20 some odd of them, and I had to take little teeny pliers and pick them all up and put them back inside, and then glue the little pecker shut. So I'm hoping it'll work. And then I had to clean it too, because of course I didn't. Yeah, funny, haha. So yes, the Tinkerbell in me wouldn't let it go, and I had to redo it all. I was a little bit meticulous, but that was my meditation time. Let me see what I can fix today. All right, soul coaching without further ado. All right. Oh, see, that's a card. Who's seeing it? Woohoo! Ooh, look at this one. This is Radiance. And Radiance is this one is like the phoenix rising. Look at the sunrise and all the bright orange fire colors. And that's really truly where we're at right now, the fire coming out of the ashes and into the phoenix area. And this is just, what a fabulous card to radiate, to forge ahead, to create, and know that, you know what? It's like dusting off your pants when you thought you fell down, and dusting yourself back up again and just go. Honestly, not giving up. Rising from the ashes means you've never given up. You can be tossed down, kicked about. Those are all journeys, and I don't know if I really like the word lessons at the end of the day, because that seems very harsh. It seems very institutional, but it's the only word I can kind of resonate with it at this particular second. You know, the more, if we sat by complacently, would you really learn? Or would you rather learn and build yourself back up again, but don't give up? Don't give up the dream. Don't give up your purpose. You know, it could be just one word that you hear from somebody, and that does it for you. It helps create that safe space for your beautiful souls to rise above and do what you're supposed to do. So radiating your energy out, and in your soul lessons, and being beautiful about it. That's what this card is. Radiate, radiate, radiate. It's the power, a really good, powerful card for the fire energy that's coming through. And yeah, and I can safely tell you, you know, I don't know. Was a friend one day and talked to me and said, I don't know, you've had so many things happen to you in your, like, just in that short duration of time. And wow, like, you have, like, how can you have so many and not sit and go and feel like you've done, that you're tired or that you want to stop? And it's like, well, I can't. I have, you know, I can't just fall down. I won't allow myself to do that, because then to me, I feel like I've quit. And the more I learn, well, and they're valuable journeys for me, because they create the person I am now. And I love my adventures. I love my things I get myself into. You know, it might not seem like that at the time, but however, I learn from those. And that's what I really love about the other side and the spirit guides, is that when they come in like that, I learn probably the best life lessons, there's that word again, for me, so that I can be of service to whoever. It could be just even for a 30 seconds. And I hope that that person also is a receiver too, that I learned so much. Even when I was teaching my Reiki classes, gosh, I learned more from my students when I was teaching them than sometimes maybe they thought they learned from me. It was just, and that's something that I'm really missing. My aspect is trying to, you know, okay, what do I do now? Where do I find space? Where do I teach again? Because I am missing those parts of my beautiful soul to teach. And so what is it that you want to bring more forward to you, I guess, is what do you want to radiate for yourselves? Okay, I'll babble less and pull another card. There's another one. That one poked up. Ha! Joy. Out of the fire, out of the passion. This one goes with also the radiant card. The more radiant you are, the more joyful you are as well too. What a wonderful mix of cards to have bring forward. Love it. And the more you do for you, and the more joy you also bring forward for yourself, and the more it shows from others' perspective too, when it reflects back. So the more joy you bring within you, the more joy exudes out into the universe. You may see more joy in maybe a relationship or work, or you may not even know how that vibration helps the rest of the, you know, a town, a city, the universe. You know that joy exudes out of love, pure essence. Because when you're joyful, the rest of the world is also joyful. Stop living in, you know, what if the world's going to fall apart? Well, if we thought like that, well, then we all deal in pessimism. And if we can send one powerful thought of joy and love out, that actually does change the universe and the vibrational structures that it sits on. Dark can't sit in the light unless we want it to. And the more we send light energies out to the world, to the universe, to family, to areas, the more the light will rule above. So know that your joy brings joy to so many other people. So it's a beautiful year, 2026 again. All right, so I'm going to pull one more card, and then maybe we'll do a little breath work tonight before we close. And is everybody sleeping? I haven't done a meditation to know that there's any sleeping. And just a fair warning, in a couple weeks I'll be, I may be away at the 24th to the 27th or the 28th. I'll be in hopefully a high little mountain here on the island with my kiddos doing some skiing. Passion. What a beautiful card too. And it comes back to these other, you know, soul coaching cards. I'm trying to push them together here. You know, from the fire, the radiance within you, bringing joy outwards. That's the action card, is joy. Brings passion for yourself. Being passionate about something that you really love, that's joyful. Brings about, goes in forwards and backwards. Comes about in where did my radiant card go? Radiates everything outward for you. So those three, honestly, are probably the most powerful cards at this particular moment in time for all of you to really look at. That you have the good graces to create a new vibration. So know that what you're proposing to do in 2026, big things are coming for you. Big changes are coming for you because you decided to show up. You decided you wanted to do the work. And some of it might not be, pretty, but you know what? When you do the work and the inner work, it brings magic. It brings joy and passion and radiance. And so just know that all the hard work that you're working on, all the shadow work that you're working on, sometimes a good cry brings about too joy, because without love, without how would you know love if you didn't have tears of sadness? We need some kind of a reference to go back on to say, you know what, as a focal point, to know, you know what, I do love that. I am passionate about that. So sometimes looking at the shadow part, and I go back to the shadow book, sometimes looking at the shadow part of yourself brings a more positive, reflective back towards you, so you know and have a reference point of where to go. Okay, so with further, I promised I would do some breath work, and maybe just a short little 1 minute meditation, since I'm not done my meditation book yet. It's coming. I want you to find a quiet spot, and whether it's sitting, whether it's laying down, whether you're just at the TV too, find a blankie and a pillow, and taking a deep breath in. I always say never to cross your feet when you're doing a meditation. I find you can do cross-leg if you really want, but crossing your feet at the bottom sometimes cuts the energy off when you need to absorb that from the bottom and all the way to the top. So taking a deep breath in, inhale for body, hold, and deep breath out, let it go. And another deep breath in, hold for mind, breath out, exhale. Big breath in for spirit, inhale, hold, breath out, exhale. Let go of all your frustrations, all your worries. Feeling your toes and your feet. Letting all that energy that feels heavy sink through the earth. Letting it go. No control, just let it go. Feel the warmth move its way up through the back of your legs, and your shins and your knees. Feeling all that heaviness. Pull down to the earth, letting it go. Again, deep breath in. Hold. Exhale. Oh, excuse me. Angels are here. Deep breath in again. Hold. Exhale out. Moving the energy up through the top of your thighs, through your bottom, up through to your back, your tummy, all through your stomach. Feeling the warmth, feeling anything that feels tight, heavy, dark. Sending all that energy down through the feet, right to the earth. Breathing in. Hold. Exhale out. Again, moving that energy lightly, warm, up through the top of your body, through your chest, up your back, through your lower back, middle back, shoulder blades, feeling the warmth and the heavy, all the heavies move through your body, back down through your legs, right to the earth. Feel that energy, all that heaviness leave. Feeling light, feeling the flow, let it all go. Moving up to the shoulders and through your arms, down through your hands and right to your fingertips. Breathing in a neck inhale, hold. Breathing out, feeling all that heaviness, anything that doesn't serve you, feeling all that, all the control go. Let it flow down, letting it go through your arms and your bottom, through to your legs, right to the earth. Let the earth take it. It'll rejuvenate the earth. Breathing in, hold, exhale out. Feel the energy moving up through your neck, your face, your lips, your ears. Feeling it up through your eyes and your eyebrows and through the back of your head, right up to the top of your head. Anything that's heavy, maybe you have a headache, let it go. Just let all that control and heaviness and tightness go. Let it just flow down the rest of your body. Kind of like a water droplet. Just let that water flow all the way down through your legs, through your toes, and through the bottom of your feet, right into the earth. Feel it just letting it go. And feeling that warmth and lightness right back up through your body. Little by little, it just warms and lightens right up to through your face, right to the top of your head, feeling light and radiant and joy and passion come back, feeling the warmth, creating that sacred space around you, radiating. Softening that energy around you. And breathing in, hold, exhale out, and hold that. Just let the breath in and out for the next few seconds. And then when I count from 10 down to 1, feeling your body will become a little bit more light and awake. So for now, just breathe. Inhale in, hold, and exhale out. So when you're ready, at number 10, feel your body kind of start to feel a little bit more awake. Again with the 9 and the 8, feeling yourself kind of tingly coming back. 7 and 6, feeling all that heaviness, letting it go, still radiating, feeling light. 5, 4, breathing it through, trusting that you've let all that go to the earth. 3, maybe you feel a little bit more awake. Fingers are moving around, kind of your shoulders and your head. and 2, breathing lightly, in and out, inhale and exhale, and 1. And when you're ready, open your eyes, feeling that you're not behind, you're moving forward. Let go of what's heavy tonight and trust what's meant for you knows how to find you. So I want to thank each and one of you beautiful souls tonight for jumping on. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So grateful. And if through this, if anything resonated well with you, feel free to shoot me a message in my messages, whether it's texting or chat box in Facebook. You can private message me. You're welcome. Anything you want to share too, or experience, or you want to add some input, feel free to drop me a line. And if you'd like more reflections like this, really let me know. Just because I want to make sure that everybody's getting what, if they want more ideas, I'm really open to creating more different spaces for people too. What other things do you want to look at? And so, and just spending time and excuse me, that, and also in about 3 weeks too, I'm going to be in Victoria doing readings on the February, I have to think here just a minute, February the 7th and 8th, I think. It's either the 7th and 8th or the 8th and 9th, whatever is the Saturday and the Sunday. And then the following weekend after that, up to Valentine's Day, I'm off to Campbell River the following weekend. So I'll just keep everybody posted. It'll be fun. Hopefully it'll be a little nicer. So anyway, without further ado, oh, Jim, I missed you. I should have shot you a message. I've been babbling for an hour. My voice is done. And I'm sure everybody else is done with me after an hour of babbling. Anyway, shoot me a message if there's anything that you guys need, and feel free to DM me. Because I'd love to know your stories and know that we're, yeah, yeah, woohoo! I get to go to Campbell River. I actually really enjoy Campbell River. It's one of my favorite peeps. I go up there and I walk along. There's the front of the ocean area, and I just feel so at peace walking along there. It's just beautiful, just gorgeous. And then I sneak into my vehicle and I pack a mattress. Yes, at 60, I still like to sleep in my vehicle and pretend I'm camping in it. But now my mattress is this thick as opposed to maybe that thick. But I still really enjoy it. It's just nice and quiet for me to just sleep, and you're out with the stars. I got my little camping equipment, and I just, I go to Elk Falls and just enjoy it. Mind you, this time I think it might be a little chilly to go, but we'll see how I feel and go from there. See how brave I can be. And but just taking time to say thank you for allowing me to spend time with each and every one of you at this moment in time. And until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Give yourselves a little grace. And you can also, again, reach out and check on with me, book readings if, you feel you're ready for one, to go down that life journey road, or you need some help sorting out, what's going on for your, just ideas and things like that. Know that I can help through your life journey, that help sort you out on that end as well too. And mediumship as well too, if you're looking for some insights onto what's going on. And sometimes too with life journey, those that have crossed over, they jump through too. It's never just a one part deal for me. Lots of times I get individuals that pop on and they have maybe not necessarily an actual message that they're pulling through, but it's the letting go process, what, you know, acknowledging that they are there, that they're always around, and acknowledging the fact that maybe they've left something for you, and you're not just getting it, or having that moment in time where you hear music or you see things or the lights, you know, just certain messages that they're acknowledging that they're there for you. So anyway, I shall go, and I will let you guys go for your evening, and I hope you enjoyed my live stream, and take care. And for now, and if you feel the need, oh, I have a YouTube station up, and I've got my YouTubes. I'm starting to pull them off my live streams and my video because I needed more camera space. My poor video in the galleries was at, I think I have 128 gigs left of space that I had on my phone, and I was down to 127. So I was a little fearful that I might not be able to do a live today. So I will drop my YouTube station, my YouTube channel, in the live stream when it gets posted onto Facebook, and then you can kind of go back and reference through my lives in there. All right, for now, toodle-doot, good night, blessings to each of you.